everyone, myself Supriya Bhosle, and in this video we will understand the concept of or features of NoSQL. So let us start with the video. Before starting with NoSQL, let us first understand different types of data. There are three types basically. First one is a structured data, then unstructured data, and third one is a semi-structured data. So what is structured data? A structured data is a highly organized, usually stored in tabular formats like databases or spreadsheets. The structured data we can easily search, and this data will follow a predefined schema. Schema means what? It is nothing but a structure. So predefined structure is there, and in that predefined structure we have to organize a data, and that data is called as a structured data. So examples of this structured data is relational databases using SQL. A small SQL database, we know in SQL structured query language, while we are creating a table, for that table we are having columns, for example like name, age and email. So that table is a structured data, like Excel sheets, financial data. These are also types of structured data. Next type is unstructured data, the data that does not have predefined structure and is difficult to organize. That is called as unstructured data, and obviously it is unstructured. They are not organized in a predefined manner, okay, or in a predefined structure, so it is hard to search or analyze without additional processing. Examples of unstructured data are emails, videos, images, social media posts, text files. All these are the types of unstructured data. Third type is a semi-structured data. For definition for this is data that has some organizational properties but doesn't fit into a strict relational model. We know for structure there is a predefined schema. For unstructured there is no a fixed schema, but for a semi-structure there is data that has its organizational properties but doesn't fit into a strict relational model. For it has tags or markers to separate the elements, but no rigid structure like in databases. For example, JSON files, XML files, and no SQL databases. These are the types of semi-structured data. So this is about types of data. Now let us discuss what is meant by NoSQL. NoSQL database stands for not only SQL or not SQL. Okay, so here do not misinterpret this term NoSQL with there is a NoSQL. No, it is like, though a better term would be no relational, but NoSQL will caught on, right? So not only SQL, that is what the real meaning. So Carl Stoss introduced the NoSQL concept in 1998, and NoSQL databases were developed in late 2000 with a focus on scaling fast queries, allowing for frequent application changes and making programming simpler for developers. We know relational databases accesses with SQL, and those were developed in 1970s with a focus on reducing data duplication. Okay, and in those times the storage was much more costly than developer time. So while developing SQL, the focus was only on reducing data duplication because we have a costlier storage. SQL databases tend to have rigid, complex tabular schemas and typically require expensive vertical scaling. Okay, there is a predefined structure or schema is there. In those tabular schemas we have to fit or organize our data. That is what the relational database is. Now NoSQL is a non-relational DBMS that does not require a fixed schema, avoid joins, and is easy to scale. The purpose of using NoSQL databases is for distributed data stores humongous data storage needs. Basically, we need to store data in a distributed manner using NoSQL. So NoSQL is used for big data and real-time web apps. For example, nowadays there is a term, we know that big data, right? The companies like Twitter, Facebook, Google, they collect terabytes of user data every single day. Okay, so how we can store that? So we require a distributed system. Okay, so NoSQL is a schemaless, non-relational, distributed and horizontally scalable. Okay, so let us discuss these features one by one. First feature is handling big data. That NoSQL is designed to handle massive amount of unstructured or semi-structured data. Horizontal scalability. Relational SQL databases scale vertically, while NoSQL can scale horizontally across distributed systems. Now, what is meant by horizontal scaling and vertical scaling? Vertical scaling, or a scaling, you can call it as scaling up, involve increasing the resources of a single server, like adding more CPU, RAM and storage. Means for a single server you can add different storage devices, or you can add more CPU, you can add more RAM, or you can add different storage devices. That is called as a vertical scaling or a scaling up. While horizontal scaling means what, or you can call it as scaling out, that involves adding more servers to a system, distributing the data and workload across them. Instead of adding different devices to a single server, we have to add more servers. Okay, and we can distribute the data and workload across those servers. That is called as a horizontal scaling. Okay, and that will be helpful for to handle big data. Now, flexibility, suitable for dynamic and flexible schema requirements. Performance optimized for high throughput in real-time applications such as social media platforms, IoT and e-commerce. All these platforms, they are handling big amount of data. So to handle that, to store that, to manipulate that, we require NoSQL. So these are the features of NoSQL and different introductory part we have seen in this video lecture. So I hope you understand this topic. Thank you.